Welcome back to the Inside NDU podcast, where you get an exclusive window into life at Notre Dame University Loise. We have yet another double feature episode today from two exciting guests, determined to place Lebanon on the map in astronomy and space science. Our first guest is Antoine Tannous, the local lead of the NASA Space Apps Challenge in Lebanon. He has been working closely with NDU in recruiting students to join the research efforts in astronomy, guiding them in growing their research skills and widening their networking circles. Today, he's here with us to tell us all about the NASA Space Apps Challenge, his role, and his collaboration with NDU. Antoine, welcome to our podcast.
Thank you so much.
Can you give us a brief explanation of what is the NASA Space Apps Challenge?
Simply, NASA Space Apps Challenge is a way of finding solutions for human and space foundations as for our problems that exist on Earth and in space. That's why we gather for a hackathon on a yearly basis, like in the first of every October, so that we find the brains or the people that have ideas to solve such problems.
Okay, so as a local lead, what has been your role exactly in this challenge?
Actually, it's a big thing to be having my tasks as a local lead of recruiting people, finding participants, searching for the expert volunteers and team for managing the whole structure of the hackathon.
So, after NDU's team Aberration has won last year Space Apps Challenge and reached the top 25 honorable mentions globally, how has that spurred interest in astronomy in Lebanon ever since?
So actually, Aberration team had an honorable mention and had actually like top 25 in the world, and we had like many teams of top 100, and that makes Lebanon, including the 9 cities we're working on. So it's like NASA Space Apps, Beirut, Nabatieh, Saydun, and so on, part of Lebanon in finding solutions and making Lebanon full. Or the sign of brains that were very well known about it. But this is a kind of an opportunity that NASA Space Apps Challenge gave us to say to the world that, yes, we have brains, and it is the way we can express what we can do. Otherwise, everybody is leaving Lebanon. That's sad news.
Can we dig into the relationship between the NASA Space Apps and NDU?
Amazing. So for year 2023, NDU is our main hub collaborator for the 9 cities so that we can manage the hackathon at NDU. And we gathered the efforts together so that we can find these solutions with the Lebanese participants in a hybrid mode or in a physical mode so that this year we make history again.
Other than the impressive success of Aberration, what encouraged you to collaborate with NDU?
Professionalism, delivering on the spot. Actually, NDU has one of the biggest observatory in the Arab Middle East. And add to it the certification. One of them is a NECE partnership, and that makes NDU one of the finest collabs we have in Lebanon and the region.
So, what are the foreseeable objectives of this collaboration?
To put Lebanon again in the map of space and sciences. Since we have the brains, but actually we're not having the results that we're looking for. And we have to work with a professional university that is well certified so that we reach the world with our innovations. And at the same time, to push Lebanon to have like a space agency or any initiative that can take place, since we do not
We
have
don't have
resources.
a space sector in Lebanon, yes. How has that been affecting astronomy-related research and activities, knowing that we don't have a space sector, as you said?
That's a plus for NDU. NDU is well known in this field as being or having the majors
Yes.
In Lebanon. And we will be working closely on many efforts to make Lebanon and NDU reach the unreachable with some keys that I might have.
Do you think people should be
Simply,
interested?
humbly.
Do you think people should be interested in astronomy overall, especially in Lebanon? I mean, they can solve their problems on Earth. let alone in space.
Well, actually, Aberration team was an example for all the teams that we can do it from zero cost impact and actually zero resources. So we've done it, and we were challenging like space agencies that they have the teams and they're preparing for it. So that's the excellence itself.
Why working with the university overall? Why not opting for huge companies or something else?
NDU is the main collaborator, but we have many collaborators working with us. Since NASA Space Apps Challenge have its own collaborators as on the global scale, and that's very well known that we are open to any mind, any age, any race, and any organization.
Thank you, Antoine, for being with us today, and thank you for sharing your insights about the NASA space apps.
Thank you, Amir. Thank you, NDU.
You're welcome. Next up, we have Ralph Razzouk, a recent graduate of NDU with a Bachelor of Science in Mathematics, the team leader of Aberration, local winners of the NASA Space Apps Challenge of 2022 in Beirut. Ralph will be walking us through how he and his team formed to enter the challenge, the experience about it, and everything in between. So let's welcome all together, Ralph.
Thank you for having me.
First, congrats on graduating.
Thank you.
Can you tell us more about your experience as an NDU student?
Well, how do I say this? I was one of the few, or actually many, unfortunate students that enrolled during the COVID 2020 economic crisis era. So my first year and a half were online, unfortunately. But I can say that the remaining year and a half were as fruitful as I could have imagined.
That's amazing. What was the most gratifying thing in your major?
Well, on the educational side, the academic side, I'm thankful for my professors that have guided me and molded my thought process and critical thinking skills. And on the other hand, from a social perspective, I'm very grateful for NDU for being a incubator for me and my friends to be able to meet, research, discuss, and plan things together.
Cool. How did you and your friends, or it's not your friends, it's basically the astronomy club, I think, manage to form Aberration for the NASA Space Apps Challenge?
So that's a funny story. 1 week before the actual hackathon weekend, Dr. Bassem Sabra, the chairperson of the Physics and Astronomy department at NDU, called me at 11 a.m., me and Christelle El Hello, which is another member from the team, and he informed us about the NASA Space Apps Challenge and that he was looking to form a team from NDU to participate in it. And that was 6 days before the hackathon. And so he told us, just put together whatever team you think is worthy, and that was it. So it was a very hectic week. I could still remember the sleepless nights that I had. But yeah, that was basically the story.
When the team first came in together, did you have any other ideas than the one that you chose at the end?
There were like around 22 challenges, so we were skeptical about which one should we choose. Many of the challenges weren't as, how could I put this? Like they were more based on design, or they're based on like thinking of an idea that doesn't have to do with any programming or machine learning or anything like that. So we had like around 3 other challenges to pick from. But then we landed with the moonquakes because we saw it was, first of all, achievable in that 1 week duration. And it was pretty straightforward. The instructions that they told us on the website were pretty straightforward.
Well, since your work on Aberration was gratifying, as I can hear, did you ever imagine that you were about to win big?
Well, I couldn't say. It's really impossible to tell this early on, but we had a good chance locally. We thought that we would win locally, but we had no idea how the process would be like globally. So we were really under a rock. But no, the basic answer is no, I didn't imagine we'd be winning big like that.
And how did it feel? Just to win out of nowhere.
Amazing. That's the only thing I can say.
So everyone in the team came from different majors. How important is it, do you think, actually, is for people to work from different majors, different fields on such projects?
It is important, but I wouldn't shed a light on it as much as you'd imagine. It is very important to have people from different backgrounds, different origins, different thought processes, different ways of thinking. But like the major itself doesn't really affect much. Like you could have 7 people from the same major, but each one of them thinks in a different way. That's not really
Exactly.
a
They won't be
icebreaker.
compatible to
Yeah,
think with one another.
exactly. So you need to find the right people that fit together like Lego pieces or a puzzle, and that's how greatness is achieved.
Would you encourage those who are not necessarily related to the astronomy field to go and research and
That's
dive
a very
into
good
such
question.
activities?
Yeah, that's a very good question. Yes, I definitely encourage anybody who has a laptop and a stable internet connection to participate in the challenge, because I don't think that the NASA Space Apps Challenge is astronomy related. It's about solving problems on Earth and in space. It's not about whether you could look at the stars or make some type of data analysis algorithm. That's not what it is. There are many challenges that have to do with renewable energy, and the challenges that have to do like maintaining crops and harvesting, and like there's
There's
a
a lot of
very wide
diversity.
range. Yeah, there's a very wide range of challenges.
Well, if you let me, we will be digging in a little bit into your personal life. Uh, you got accepted into a PhD program at
Yes.
Purdue University.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about what you're willing to pursue later on?
So I got accepted into a PhD program in high energy physics. Well, it's in theoretical physics, but the field I'm going to be working on hopefully is in high energy physics. It's basically smashing particles at a high speed and seeing what comes out of it.
Destruction.
That's the simple way I can put it. Yeah, I'm very excited to journey along. In fact, I start in 2 weeks, so it's very close right now.
So you're traveling soon, I assume?
Yes, exactly.
We'll be missing you, and you will be missing you as well.
I will be missing it as well.
However, thank you, Ralph, so much for being with us here today.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
There you have it, how the NASA Space Apps Challenge and NDU are working closely together to reach the stars, between Aberration's win and the collaboration between NDU and the local chapter in Beirut. These combined efforts are sure to pave the way for establishing and creating a space sector in Lebanon. If you're interested in learning more, don't forget to check our articles in the description down below and follow us on all social media platforms to stay up to date on every single thing that will be going on in our Inside NDU podcast. As well, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the post notification bell. We'll be seeing you on the next one, and thanks for tuning in as always.